This is a painting by David Roberts, a Scottish painter, 1830, 1840. I think sort of indicative of this time. I think a lot of people were exploring different parts of the world. A little later, the American West, you know, fellows like Bierstadt and Frederick Church. And they brought those paintings back with them to England and the continent, and it was really a place for the public to see what these far distant places looked like. And I never really had a chance to do, architects sort of call this the grand tour, where you really go and look at the buildings of antiquity and learn from how they were made. But in about 2005, I had two partners, the Truex and the Cullins, who were about to retire. And I thought, before they go, I better go see some things. And I'd kept sort of sketchbooks for about 40, 45 years. I'd always drawn in those. But when I went to Egypt for the first time and saw the pyramids and other places, I thought, gee, it'd be really nice to do something more than draw and learn how to paint. Well, of course, David Roberts was not somebody that I was ever going to get close to in terms of his work. This is a painting of his in Petra, which is in the southern part of Jordan. This is called the Treasury El Khazanah. So I went to visit most of these places, and after I got back, I tried to learn how to paint. So I thought I'd show you how the real masters did it, and the other filler materials is what I was doing. So this is Frederick Church, similar view. I don't know if any of you have ever been to Olana near Hudson on the coast of the Hudson River. I tried to paint this painting for about 2 years, and then I went and saw this hanging over his mantle at Olana, and was completely discouraged. You know, this is sort of what I was doing. But in any event, I kept at it. And what you're seeing now is sort of the product of my travels. This is sort of like cheap tourism, you might say. But I went all over the place. I took about 4 months and went to Italy, Greece, Turkey, Jordan, all the way to the southern edge of Egypt, a place called Nubia, where Lake Nasser's been made. And then, yeah, even things like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I don't know if it kind of gets a bad rap on some levels on account of its being a little crooked. But the way the Campanile and the baptistry and the Duomo sit on that surface of green grass is probably one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. This is the Blue Mosque in Istanbul. And one of my favorites is sort of an unfinished project by Filippo Brunelleschi in Florence. It's called Santo Spirito. I always thought that this is what he intended for the front of the building, but then they told me a little later on that, yeah, they just never had the money to finish it. And it's probably one of the most iconic images, especially in the realm of postmodern architecture. You know, we did a lot of those curlicues and things that we try to copy. So this is Roberts again. This is Ramses II at the bottom of Lake Nasser, a monument that he built for himself and his girlfriend. And this is my iteration of that. You could tell I couldn't deal with all 4 heads, so I just painted one. But I am having a lot of fun with this and trying to do better. This is a wonderful place. This and actually Petra, I don't mean to, it sounds like I'm gloating a little bit up here, but if you ever get a chance to go to these places. So I generally only paint the places that I've been to, but this is an exception. My wife Stevie went to Cambodia, to Angkor Wat. This is actually a head from Angkor Thom. And again, a very, very complex place, sort of the junior to Angkor Wat. It's about 1.5 miles away. I also had the good fortune to sort of, not all of these were on that trip, obviously. Now we're on the northwest coast of British Columbia, a place called the Queen Charlotte Islands, now known again as Haida Gwaii. A spectacular place in terms of just wood constructs. And not too long ago, this is the old bridge in Mostar in Bosnia. It was built in the 1400s, I think. I wrote all this down, and then that piece of paper sits in my pocket, and I can't really recall. But this was destroyed during the Bosnian-Serbian War and then rebuilt. This is a San Cataldo. It's in Palermo, a beautiful little Arab Norman church. 3 sort of globule-like domes that sort of repeat themselves on the way back through, but just a simple rectangular stone building that sits in Palermo in a very noble way. And then we've got a few of our own, you know, here in this country. This is Mesa Verde in the southwestern portion of Colorado near Durango. Also, just amazing constructs. I think architects in particular are taken by the sort of asymmetrical nature of these compositions and the kind of dynamic wonder that they bring. I would have you guess, but these are the little steeples, or the little tops of Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, which really stunned me to sort of climb up those spires. This is maybe 15, 20 years ago, and to see the ceramic tile so beautifully composed at the top. This is a story we architects tell all the time. Maybe some of you have read Brunelleschi's Dome by a man named King. And this is Santa Maria del Fiore in Florence, built, I think, around 1200, but the dome really wasn't finished until the 1400s. And then I was born in Holland and have always liked windmills. And this is the Kinderdijk, a collection of about 19 windmills in the slightly southern portion of Holland. So that's that.